Hey, do you like multiplication?
Maybe. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's cool. I like math.
Cool.
First question is the vertex form, and which one is the vertex form below? Okay, so actually we have two vertex form here, right? Because vertex form is the form that that we have one parenthesis where it tells us information about the vertex, right? So in this case, you see both ing has the vertex, okay, has the vertex as the, so ing are the vertex form. Of course, we can write the three forms, different forms here. Okay, I already did this for version A, so you can see those three different forms, but you can also check your notes, okay, to tell which one is the vertex form. And then let's find out this, okay, which graph is a function over here. Okay, so we can find the function to represent this graph. So then we need to tell whether those three forms are, for example, the first form here, that's a standard form, right? Standard form tells us about the y-intercept. So the y-intercept here is 0, -1, so -1. It seems, I don't know exactly what this point is, but it seems this matches, okay? But leave it there, okay? And let's look at I. I tells us information about the vertex. So the vertex over here is actually -2 and -4. Remember, this is x minus h, right? So if this is a +2, then it's -2 over 2 here. But look at the vertex over here. Of course, it's not -2, right? It's something behind, like on the left side of -5, right? So it's not -2. So this one should not be right. And this one, the vertex is -4 and -2. So look at this. The vertex over here is actually, I think it should be -6. Okay, it's -6, it's not -4, so this one is not right. And then look at the last one is the factor form, right? Factor form tells us information about the x-intercept, the roots. So the roots here is 1 and 0, and 5 and 0, because it's the roots is when x -1 is equal to 0, or when x -5 is equal to 0, right? So but look at those two roots. This root seems like 0, or this root seems like -14 something. So this is not right. So I think only the F is right, and it makes sense. If you look at the vertex over here, that's something. When x is -6, it should be something like around -35 or -37 something. Okay, -37 something. So the answer here is F. And then use the square root property to find solutions for x squared plus 12x plus 36 is equal to 144. So we need to make this a perfect square. So it's x plus 12 squared is equal to 144. Sorry, this is x minus plus 6 squared. Okay, it's equal to 144, which is 12 squared. So the left side is a perfect square trinomial. You can use Xbox to solve this. And on the right side, that's the perfect square number, right? So then you need to take square root on both sides. And this is equal to square root of square. And then it's x plus 8. But remember, when you're taking the square roots on both sides, you get a positive and negative solution, right? Positive and negative solution. So x is equal to -6 plus or -12. So when this is a plus 12, that's +6, right? When it's -12, it's -18, right? So the answer is B. So x is +6 or x is -18. Okay, that's two answers. And look at the circle the correct answer. Okay, for the quadratic formula, you need to use which form? This quadratic formula is the one we only have A and B and C, right? Those parameters. So that's option A. Find the maximum or the minimum, then that's a vertex form, right? Because vertex tells us about the maximum or minimum. And then to complete a square, we're gonna use the half of the b value, right? The half of the b value, so that's this one. And to find the solution and roots, we're gonna use the quadratic formula, right? So it's this one. And x minus 8 times x minus h plus k. H represents the x value of the vertex, right? H is the x value because the x minus h is 0. That happens, right? And then which helps you determine the type and number of the roots. So the type and the number of the roots is the discriminant. Discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So then this question is asking us to do the CTS, completing the square. So how to do the completing the square? So we need to do the CTS, right? So we need to find out A is 1, B is minus 4, C is 7, right? And then we do the CTS. So CTS is trying to taking the half of the B value, right? Taking the half of the B value. So it's like minus 4 over 2 square. Okay, minus 4 over 2 square. So it's minus 2, right? So it's minus 2. So what does it mean? So we need to find like minus 2 square, so which is 4, which means we're gonna add 4 and minus 4 here, right? So it's so we can write gx is equal to x squared minus 4x and plus 4 and minus 4 and plus 7. So this is the way that we complete the square, right? So then this is the perfect square trinomial, okay, where you can do the x box. You will find out this is x minus 2 square and minus 4 plus 7 give us a positive 3. Okay, so it's plus 3. So we get this. And
okay, so once you have it in vertex form, write the form above and below it. Your A is 1, then your subtraction sign is there, so H is 2 and your K is 3, so the vertex is 2 comma 3. I scored this one. If you did CTS correctly and got 4, I gave you 2 points. If you applied it correctly, I gave you a 3, meaning a positive 4 and a negative 4 because that adds to 0. If you kept it in vertex form, I gave you guys a 3.75 and it has no vertex. So that's how you would get the full credit.
this is the vertex form. Okay, this is the vertex form. And then write an equation for the parabola below. Okay, so from this equation we can find 3 points here, right? It's minus 2, 0, and 3, comma 0, and 3, comma 6. So we got the x-intercepts and y-intercepts, right? So in this case, we're gonna use, of course you can try to use standard form, but we want to use factor form first. Okay, if we use factor form first, we can get, because we can use this x-intercepts directly, right? So y is equal to a times x minus 2 and times x minus 3. So y is actually equal to, or fx is actually equal to a times x plus 2 times x minus 3. And then we just need to put the y-intercept, okay, to put the y-intercept into this equation. So when x is 0, y is 6, right? So y is 6, so 6 is equal to a times 0 plus 2 times 0 minus 3, okay? So this is a positive 2, this is a negative 3. So positive 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, right? So we get 6 is equal to negative 6a. So we divide negative 6. So a is actually minus 1. Okay, a is actually minus 1. So then we get y is equal to f of x is equal to minus x plus 2 times x minus 3. Okay, but this is not the answer because this is still the factor form, right? We want a standard form, so we need to expand it, okay? So we get f of x is equal to minus x squared minus x minus 6. So it's x squared minus x squared plus x plus 6.
All right, to expand this out, I'm just going to multiply these two. That becomes x squared. You're multiplying here. And then I'm going to combine like terms, so that's negative x minus 6. Don't forget you have the negative, so we're going to have to distribute the negative. And that's how we get negative x squared plus x plus 6 as your answer. If you solve for the a value, you got 3 points. If you kept it in factored form here, I gave you 3.5 points.
Okay, and then let's look at the last one, using the quadratic formula to solve that, right? What is the quadratic formula? When you use the quadratic formula, first thing is you write a, b, and c, right? A is 5, b is -3, c is 1. And then write down the quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, right? Over 2a. And you get those values into the formula. So then you get x is equal to -3, right? -3 plus square root of -3 squared minus 4 times 5 times 1 and over 2a, so it's 2 times 5. So this is x is equal to -3 is +3, and plus or minus -3 squared, so that's 9. 9 minus 4 times 5 is 20, right? So it's -11 and over 10. So if there is a minus sign, okay, if there's a negative sign inside the discriminant, then we know that it will have like the imaginary number, right? It will have the imaginary number, so it's a complex roots. So we need to deal with this one. And 11 is not a perfect square number, and we cannot factor 11 anymore. So we just need to get an I out of the square root. So then it's x is equal to 3 plus or minus I times square root of 11 over 10, okay? Because how did we get an I out of the square root of 11? It's because the -11 is actually equal to -1 times 11, right? So -1 is actually equal to I times 11. You see that? So this is the I square, so we can get the I out of the square root symbol. Okay, so that's how we get this outside, okay? And so x is 3 plus or minus I times square root of 11 over 10.
That's all for today, Rebels. Have a mathematical Monday.